Hey there, welcome back to the Japan Game Junk podcast. Today it's a store that is located in Isehara. This is in Kanagawa prefecture, and it's a fairly decent small hard off store. If you are in the area, it's worth a peek, and quite a bit of stuff in here to see. And also, on this day, perhaps not in the future, anyone who goes in there gets a free drink. They have a little refrigerator there near the counter, and you say to the guy at the register, "I'll take a drink." He says okay, and you get a little Fanta or Coca-Cola or something. One of the tiny cans, It's a pretty nice little bonus to go in there. Don't have to buy anything. So, what was there on this day? Well, first, they had a copy of Cadence of Hyrule for the Switch. That rhythm game that I can't play because it's so difficult. But anyway, it's there, and it's 4,000 yen, brand new, still sealed, which might be a good deal in the future. However, now at many Wonder Goose stores, you can get it new for less than that, I believe, depending on the store, 20 or 2,000 or to 3,000 yen for that. They did have the, was it Amagami, the dating sim game for Vita. I was surprised because I've just seen it before, never thought much about it, and then suddenly now it's very expensive, and it's there for 6,000 yen for the game card only, not even the manual or box. However, they had many Switch games much cheaper. They had a big case full of loose Switch games. Maybe it was someone's collection. And they were all 800 yen, just for the game cards. But they were all the dating simulation kind of weird, kind of those kind of games. So I guess someone sold off their collection of game cards only, and yeah, that's there. Something very, very inexpensive, though. The cheapest I've ever seen it. Even cheaper than I bought it a long time ago. Pac-Man for Game Gear. Just Game Gear Pac-Man. 1,000 yen. Game card only, the game cartridge only, but yeah, Pac-Man. 1,000 yen. They also had the PlayStation game of Serial Experiments Lane, which I noted before. I believe this was at the Kanteidan, I forgot what it's called, in Kawagoe City, had it for 100,000 yen. Here it's 80,000 yen, so quite the discount, well worth the travel if you only wanted that one game. They also had the US version of the Castlevania Adventure game for 3,000 yen, game only for Game Boy. That was a bit of a blast from the past. I believe that was my third Game Boy game I had as a youth. And I played that game so very much, the Castlevania Adventure. In that game, if you don't whip the first candle and you play whipping all the other candles, the 11th candle gives you a 1-up. But yeah, they had that game for 3,000 yen, but the sequel, Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge for the Game Boy, 12,000 yen. Quite a bit more. Also the Western version, not the Japanese version. But yeah, still, that was some blastest from the pastus. Something that I've come to understand recently is very rare is certain games on the Satellaview system, where you would download games from the satellite to your Super Famicom, and people who were subscribed to that could download these games and play them from then on the memory units. Here, a boxed memory unit was 8,000 yen. And I understand there are some bounties out there to find some very rare games that were only released on Satellaview and might be lost to time. So, some lost media there. But each one of these memory units tends to be very expensive, and I don't know what's on there. So this one was boxed, looks like it's probably in good condition, for 8,000 yen, but no way to know what's on there. Sometime in the future, if I ever find them, for a very cheap price, say 1,000 or 2,000 yen, I'll pick them up and hope I find something rare. They also had a bunch of Game Gears that didn't work in various states of disrepair. There were 7 Game Gears in one bucket in the junk section, ranging in price from 2,000 yen to 3,000 yen. The ones that are the cheaper ones had the power did not even turn on. The more expensive ones, the power turns on, but nothing else happens. But yeah, a bunch of them. They probably had enough, junk Game Gears here where you could just buy them all and take them apart and put the parts all together to make at least 1 or 2 functional ones, I think. But I don't have that skill, so I didn't bother. And the last thing that was interesting for me was the Sphero robotic gaming system. This is a little perfect sphere that is run by an app on your phone, be it Android or iPhone. And I have this, which is the BB-8 Star Wars version, and it's pretty interesting. You can control it with your phone, and it just rolls around there. It's a fun little thing to have. And I got the Star Wars version, like I said, but this basic version, just the Sphero, 1,200 yen in this hard off. And if I didn't have one already, I would have bought it because they're kind of fun, and you should get one too. So with that out of the way, that Sphero ending, I'll go ahead and say goodbye. This was, like I said, a very interesting store. I got a free Coca-Cola. And yeah, it's well worth a visit if you're in the area. Thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful, incredible day.